This is the Ultra Hard Bachelor's Reward, a compilation of some of the hardest badges on the platform, including many challenges, such as beating a game of golf with 0 strokes, beat up all these basics knockoff while getting every answer wrong, get 10 quadrillion pollen in beast form, beat the Tower of Hell, along with many, many more. And in this video, I managed to get 5 of them. But enough of my yapping. Let's get on to the first badge. Alrighty, so for this first badge, I decided to get the Belts of Hearts and Crazy Horse Game. I didn't record myself doing this badge for the first time, so I'm just gonna show you how to get it yourself. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is beat the Expert tutorial to the right of the first checkpoint in the normal tutorial. This is because it teaches some of the more hidden mechanics of the main game that are needed to get the badge later on. Then, after beating the tutorial, you're going to want to go to World 4 and follow where I'm heading to reach a portal that will take you to the Belts of Hearts challenge. Okay, so once you're here, all you need to do now to get the badge is to beat this obby. However, there are a few things you're going to need to know to be really successful at this. For one, you should always star jump off a platform, like these chocolate bars over here, because it gives you extra momentum that you'll need to complete certain jumps, and it also makes jumps where it's not needed a lot easier. Another thing that you'll need to know is that when sticking to a wall for wall jumping, the hitbox doesn't take up the entirety of the player model. So if you jump at a wall the wrong way, you'll slide right off and fall to your doom. Finally, probably make sure to control your nerves later in the obby, because you'll make stupid mistakes that you usually wouldn't do. But even with all these tips, it'd probably still take a lot of practice till you'll be able to get this badge as well. But I'm gonna just leave you to watching the rest of this clip of me doing it. Okay, so the second badge I got was the 6.0 Hero Badge, Super Bomb Survival. This badge is mainly considered the easiest badge on the entire list due to beating around on 6.0 difficulty itself not being that hard, but beating 6.0 100 times being a very tedious task. However, I never actually played the game before, so I ended up dying many times. And it stayed that way until I ended up getting both the Unseen perk and the Force Field ability. And let me tell you that these abilities help me a lot, and I highly recommend them when going for this badge. But shifting over to actual gameplay, I'm going to assume you don't want to see me beat 100 rounds of this game, so I'll just go over this one piece of footage that shows most of the important tips and tricks to beating 6.0 Hero. Alrighty, so as you're about to see now, I start going for this pizza after taking a bit of damage, and start going for every single item around that pizza. Pretty much an important part of this game is items, and you're gonna really want to go for every single one that you can find. Continuing on with this footage, you're gonna want to notice how I see a destroyer and try and avoid it at all costs. That's because pretty much you can go into smaller bombs and come out completely unscathed, but bigger ones like destroyers and those big bombs you want to stay away from. Okay, so another thing you may have noticed is how I'm staying as high as I possibly can. That's because the bigger bombs like to roll off towards the middle, making it just a giant lava lake, and it is very hard to recover from there without taking a bunch of damage. So I suggest not going towards the middle unless you really need to, or there's a Grimbo where you're currently at. One thing that you can do if you do fall though is wall hop back up. This works because to make everything fly around after a bomb explodes or something, everything needs to be stacked on top of each other. So you can pretty much wall hop on absolutely any platform. Another thing that you can see here is that if you're in the middle of the lava lake and your force field is on cooldown, you could also jump on some bombs and coins that are floating in the lava. This is a very risky move though, so I wouldn't suggest it unless you're absolutely certain that there's no other way out. I do also suggest that you only use your force field if you need to move through the lava lake, or if there's no way away from like a giant bomb like that Mega Destroyer. If there is absolutely no way out of something like that though, you can always just jump and pray that something launches you upwards. But yeah, if you follow those tips, you should be all set to beating 6.0 100 times, just like I have here. Okay, so as I was editing this, I ended up getting the Awesome Maniac badge. I won't say too much about this, except for explaining some of the skips I ended up using in the course. Okay, before you even consider getting the badge though, you're gonna have to unlock the course, as I'm doing here. Behind one of the bookshelves, there should be a bomb that you can get by rolling into said bookshelf, as I'm doing here. Once you get that bomb, you're gonna run towards the bar near the front of the room and explode the glass. I should be doing that right now. Yeah, and once you do that, you just gotta jump through the waterfall and you'll make it to Mount Awesome. Alrighty, so the first skip is right past this part. Basically, you're just gonna wanna roll jump off of this onto the second bounce pad, grab that second bomb, and jump past the checkpoint onto that little platform area. Okay, so these next few skips are really fast, so I'm gonna have to speedrun explaining them. This first skip is you want to jump on this bounce pad and dive at just the right point to headbutt a platform. You should see me do that right about now. Yeah, like that. After that, you want to just continue through the course normally until you get a bomb. Then you're going to want to jump, dive, wait for the bomb to explode, and spin jump at just the right time to get to that platform and collect the bottle to finish the course. The third and by far hardest badge I got was the badge for beating True Railgun Obby on hardcore, taking me around 11 hours of playtime to complete due to inconsistent mechanics and very difficult maneuvers. So instead of showing myself rage over an obby for 11 hours, I'll just fit it all into a short montage of my suffering. I hope you enjoy it, because I 100% definitely did not. Yeah, bud, don't worry. It only took me a few more tries after this to actually beat it, but it was still really annoying to know that I missed the final jump and ruined the entire run. Anyway, the next badge I decided to try and get was the badge for defeating Bob and Prank Your Mom. The boss fight is very tedious to set up, so I'm gonna just run through it really quick. Okay, so first thing you're gonna need to do is enter Act 2 of the game by pranking Mom around like 5 or so times. Then doing the ultra prank to end up waking up as Max and unlocking the requirements to set up the boss. Okay, next thing you're gonna need to do is beat Basha Ab on hard mode by buying the raccoon mask for $30 at the store and then interacting with the billboard outside. That should trigger the boss fight for Basha Ab, and hopefully you don't have as much trouble as I did here with these boulders. There you are. Oh my god, bro. Stop hiding from me. Get out. Come on. Come on. Come on, get back here. Get back in the damn ring. No. No. Bro, this boulder hates me! No. No. Ooh. Boulder, bro. Bro, oh my. Boulder, why? Stop it, Boulder. Stop it. This boulder is annoying the hell out of me, man. They were so... There! Oh my god! Get back here. Get your ass back here, boy. Done. Good for you. This frickin' boulder. Die! Okay, thank god, bro. This boulder! Okay, after you do that, go ahead and beat Boba on hard mode by summoning him using the button by the graveyard, doing an ending, and then talking to him with the raccoon mask. Okay, so the final step to unlocking Bob is to buy the rocket launcher for $80 and then blow up the crack wall in the dill pickle to unlock the door to get to Bob. Okay, I don't have many notes for this boss, but the ones I do have are to not spam jump and that the code at the end of the obby is Bob and then human, because I ended up dying at this. It was really annoying. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention this, but you also want to stay near the edges because if you don't, it can lead to things like this happening where you get completely cornered and there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. Yeah, well, with all being said, this is the attempt that I actually beat Bob on. It's pretty weird, so, buckle up. I genuinely have no idea what happened here. He just goes on for a long, dramatic pause. Oh my god. Oh my god. What in the hell, bro? I lost! And yet I still won! Let's go! I got the badge! That was really confusing. But I got it. So, I don't care. I don't really care. Let's see that. Let's see that. Yada yada. I want to see that. I see my endings. How do I do that again? Oh yeah, it was in Libby's room, I think. Or the garage. Oh yeah. It's shadow ending, so. Yeah! Let's go. Complete Bubba and Basha hard mode. Explode the cracked and pickled pickle. Survive. Okay, the final badge I got was reaching round 50 in Project Lazarus. This badge is pretty hard if you don't have a few players helping you, so let me introduce you to the team. Robloxian 6. Newbie is the team member you'll probably see me sticking by the most due to us being on call at the time. Also, he wasn't actually there for the badge, he was just mainly here for the heck of it. Here's a few clips of him doing stuff, I guess. Lord is definitely the most inexperienced person on the team, so you'll probably see me reviving him a lot. However, he is really good at conserving ammo, so when there are long periods without max ammo power-ups, he really does come in clutch, so gotta keep him around. Zane was the mentor of the group. He taught me, Newbie, and Lord what the best guns to use were. He also spends a lot of time gambling at the loot box, so that's probably where you'll see him most of the time. Flood joined the game really late into it, so the main thing they really did was run around and gather zombies for Newbie to kill with the Sub-Zero. They are definitely the most experienced out of all of us, though, with a level of 121. You will barely ever see a Gak, because he never actually stayed with the team. He also argued with Zane a lot. At one point, he said he might have been high, so that might be the cause of why he acted so strangely. And without any further ado, the final round before level 50 in Project Lazarus. Hey, if you're still here and have enjoyed the video, please subscribe. These badges took forever and I would really appreciate it. Also, credits to Newbie for making the thumbnail of this video and helping with some other design aspects. But that's all I've really got for now, so hope you have a good rest of your day and I'll see you later.